On today's show, we are going to make a fabulous turkey dinner. This could be used for Thanksgiving, could be used for Christmas, any holiday, or just because it's Wednesday. And it's exciting because we have Barb here to cook with us. It's going to consist of turkey with stuffing, and it's going to be between a dough with some sweet potatoes and also some sauteed spinach for a side dish made with secret ingredient. So let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Diabetic Diet Show. To start out, we need to make our spinach. And usually you use olive oil and butter to saute up your spinach. So we're just going to give it a good round of the pan like that. I have the pan getting hot. The next thing I need is some butter. So I'm going to put that in and get that started. We are going to saute up some onions and garlic. The garlic is going to go in last so it doesn't burn. So I've pre-cut my onions and I'm using this chopper. I like it, it cuts so fast that your eyes don't water. But a little tip, if your eyes do water, just have a fan going and blow some air. There we go. Okay, Barb, so there's your onions. Here's the garlic. You can use a press, you can use a knife, any way you want. I just so happen to have this thing. Why don't you push that for a few minutes until it's ready to roll. And for the stuffing, I have celery that I cut up and we're going to put that in later on. Normally when you make stovetop stuffing, it says on the box to put in approximately 1.5 cups of water. Could you grab the scissors for that, please? Instead of using all water, what I used was about 1 cup of beef broth and 1/2 cup of water. So you can pour this in your pan there, Barb, nice and slow. Right in here, please.
In here.
Yep, you can get rid of that. We'll have this ready to go. This is so easy to make because all we do is bring it to a boil and then we will stir it in, cover it, and let it sit. The hard part here is melting our butter. So if you want to grab any wooden spoon that you like and stir that butter around to encourage it, that would be a great thing to do. And then we'll get our spinach in here, and then we're also in the end we're going to use some white wine on it. That's my secret ingredient on the spinach. And of course on the stuffing, my secret ingredient was the beef broth and some celery sprinkled on top of it. Now that the butter is melted, we can do our onions. So very carefully, let's put those onions in there. I have to encourage them to come out a little bit. There you go. Okay, we have to wait and let those cook a little bit, and we need this to come to a boil. Let's go ahead and get our butter in here. I like to buy the half sticks, and I buy the unsalted, because then I can put my own salt in. So, there you go on that. Now that this is boiling, we can go ahead and turn that off. Let's put in raisins.
Should I get a different spoon?
And we'll put in our mix. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Get the one with the teeth. That's what I would do. There you go. And just fluff it. Let's go ahead and pull it off the heat though, if you don't mind. Looks good. All right, pull that out. So this is done. Set that aside for now. Now you need to put your garlic, so if you just use your finger and dump your garlic in there, kind of broadcast it so it's, you know, I always see people put stuff in like one little spot, and I'm always afraid I'm the guy in the restaurant that's going to get the salt or the pepper. So I like to kind of hold things up a little bit and kind of broadcast in the pan. You can always give it a stir anyway. You got that? All right. Then we have some black pepper, and we have some salt. Then here is your can of spinach and a fork to put it all in the pan, and then we'll stir it. We'll let it sauté a little bit, and then we'll pour a splash of white wine on top of it. But you're going to have to get your wooden spoon and kind of break it up and move it around. I'll get this all out of your way. Now that that is pretty well sauteed, put this in the pan. That'll cool it off a little bit. You can give it just a little bit of a stir if you want, Bart. That'll just kind of mix it up. Very good. So here's our spinach. We'll set that aside. Our next step is going to be to cook up our turkey casserole. One of the things in the turkey casserole that we have to do is we're going to have some mashed potatoes in it. So I filled up a coffee cup with water. Let's get the burner on. I have half a stick of butter. Bring that to a boil. This is the instant potatoes that I'm using. Just any package of instant potatoes will do. And I will pour in some cream a little bit later once it gets hot. So the way I do it is I use equal amounts of water and mix. I've cut a V in the center of the bag. And as soon as that comes up to a boil, we will put in the potato mix. Now that the potatoes are done, let's get started. So we have our dough, which sometimes can be difficult to open, and sometimes it can surprise you. Let's see what today is going to be. And I'm going to use my cutting board. I only put things like vegetables or this dough on my cutting board, no meat. I never put any meat on my cutting board. All the meat goes on a separate cutting board. So these just unroll, if you can find where they get started. That is the easy part. Yeah, you'll be happy if you spray it. You won't be happy if you spray the counter if you're going to clean the counter. You got all four sides?
Yep.
All right. So here's our dough. Now I have to get this dough in here somehow. There's a little hole in the bottom here I want to fill out. I want to work in real well. Let's get it like that. Then the next thing I put in is sweet potato yams, and Barb drained these. And I can just use the lid like this just to cut them up a little bit if I want, or I can use the can. My friends tell me when they're cooking in a restaurant, they do all kinds of crazy things because they got to do everything in a hurry. There we go, that's all set. Then we put meat on it. Next we will put in mashed potatoes and play the song Do the Mashed Potato. Then I need another layer of dough. I like to have a lot of dough. I have the oven preheating. If you'd like all of the measurements and instructions, if you just click the subscribe button down there, you'll see the more button and the details will be there. Also, if you would subscribe, that would be great. If you like what you're seeing, hit the thumbs up button. As a matter of fact, Barb was going to ask you anyway about spinach.
Do you like spinach? If you like spinach, give me a thumbs up.
Now let's throw this in the oven. Our lovely turkey in a crust is all cooked up. And if you want to give me one of those spatulas, I will volunteer to dish things up. Crust is all nice. I love these silicone baking dishes. They really work well. There we go. Wow. That looks great. Well, that's our show for the day. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.